Today I'm going to try to predict Metacritic scores for upcoming games in March 2026. This is a monthly video series that I do, so if you're into that kind of thing, follow along for more. Two things to establish off the top as always. Number one, I understand Metacritic scores are not the all and be all of game reviewing. It's not that big of a deal. We do this for fun. And number two, if I did not review something or miss something, whatever, drop a comment down below, tell me the game, and I'll review it down in the comments below. Which I will say there's probably going to be a nice little handful of games that are not going to get predicted this month. Up front, full honesty, my bad, roast me in the comments. I actually had a pretty big list of games for March, a mix of big and small, but I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm recording this the day before this video has got to come out. I have been traveling for work. I've been working long days for work, all in prep for my peak selling season for my job. So I've been very busy. I was trying to cut down a little bit in the editing department because also the day after this is posted, I'm immediately traveling again as well. So I'm just really busy. My bad. April will be back to full strength because that is one of my favorite things about doing these monthly predictions, is including a lot of games that like maybe you haven't heard of or I haven't heard of, and it helps me discover new games too. That happened a few times last year where I got some of my new favorite games from last year because I didn't know about them until I did a Metacritic prediction on them. So my bad. Hey, that's just 1 month of slightly mailing it in. April will be back to full strength because then I won't be as busy with work. You know, it's just gonna be smooth sailing from that point forward. I'm just really busy. All right, cut me just a little bit of slack for this 1 month, please. But even though I'm not going through a massive list of games, we do have some really notable games coming out this month. I mean, trimming down the list to what I have is got some pretty notable titles in there. So I'm really excited for March. Here's how I did last month for anyone keeping track. It was honestly a pretty good month. I hit a lot of stuff kind of where I thought it would land. You know, there was really no egregious misses. Romeo's a dead man by 10 points is probably the most egregious one. I mean, for the most part, I did pretty well, so I'm pretty happy with February. We take those dubs. Let's not waste any more time. Do all the normal things content creators tell you to do. Let's jump into the predicting. Kicking things off on March 2nd, we have Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered. I'm going to say 75 on this one. It's kind of like on brand and on par for what Defiance originally scored at. So it just kind of feels like the right score there. On March 3rd, we have Scott Pilgrim EX. Scott Pilgrim games, yeah, do okay. I mean, they're fine. I'm going to say 75 on this one, so it's in the green. That's cool. I mean, they again, they do fine. They do what they do. So yeah, I'm going to say 75. On March 5th, we have Marathon, which at the time of this video that I'm recording, they're doing the server slam right now. It had some pretty good peak numbers and it kind of been trailing off since. I actually don't think it's going to score super well. And that's not like me just trying to be hating to hate whatever. Cause like I've played a lot of Bungie games. I grew up on a lot of Bungie games, right? Like I knew what the original Marathon was. Did I play it? No. But did I know what it was? Yes. Like Bungie's always been a part of my life in some capacity. So I'm not just hating to hate, but I'm actually going to feel like a 73. I could be wrong. I haven't dove into all of the feedback from the server slam so far. I've only seen some of the feedback, and it wasn't like glowingly positive. It was just, this is fine. At least from what I saw, at least from like the first day of it. The opinion might change now. I did see where numbers were starting to decline and go down a little bit. So 73 is where I'm going to sit on this one. I hope I'm wrong because it really does hurt as a longtime player of Bungie games to see Bungie continue to go down the shit pile. I don't want to see that. I don't like to see that. You know, this game is something where I imagine the gunplay feels phenomenal because that's what Bungie does best. But will everything else feel great? Did they give you a game that's going to make you want to come back consistently? I know I saw one piece of feedback from a long time, like Destiny and Bungie player in general, was like they, you know, allocated so much time for this, and it's the state that it's in. They could have just kept doing more Destiny stuff that's actually good. While it's not good for new players and stuff, it's still good, right? For the most part. Then they just dedicate time to this, and it's a dumpster fires, as they called it. So I don't know. I'm not feeling super high on Marathon right now. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know. It is what it is. I'm not going to check out the server slam personally because also I'm still kind of salty about them shutting down Blue Point. For, you know, and then we just still have more live service stuff coming out. So I don't want to check it out. It's also just not my style of game. It's not my genre. It's not. If it was my genre, I might be more interested to check it out. But this is not for me. It's 73. Also on the 5th, we have Nevergrave, The Witch, and the Curse, which is a 2D like Metroidvania roguelike. It actually looks pretty cool. I really enjoy the art style for it. I'm gonna say 78 on this one. Hopefully it does well. I'm looking forward to seeing if there's some positive talk around it. And last one for March 5th, we have Pokemon Pocopia, which is going to be one of the two, in my opinion, biggest headlining games to come out this March. You know, the time that I'm recording this is the day after Pokemon Day. I'm wearing my favorite type shirt in dedication of that. Shout out to grass types. I love my grass types. I gotta tell you, when Pocopia got revealed, I thought it looked really interesting, and I saw the strong potential and promise, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be a game for me. There was a few things that's come out that's made this a day one purchase for me. The biggest one is where it has almost like that Minecraft element, where you have one core like server, world, you know, island, whatever, where the host doesn't have to be on and your friends can just come on and do their thing. That was my selling point. It's like, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool, because that's always like one of my favorite elements of like Minecraft, for example. I got to be honest. I think Nintendo legitimately has an absolute hit on their hands. Like, you know, I know it's Pokemon, so it naturally comes with a lot of criticism, but I think Pocopia is going to score really well. And like, I'm going to say a 92, but there's a possibility I could be lowballing it. Like, it could be up to like a 94, 95. Now, it could also be just like an 88. I mean, that's the range to me, is anywhere from an 88 to a 95. Like, I think like 92 is kind of where I'm sitting right now, but I think this game could be like a legit, like absolute smashing hit. You know, it has all of the elements for some of these great games all mixed together with Minecraft, Animal Crossing, and then the Pokemon side of things. Like, I think this game could legitimately really set the world on fire. I'm really excited to pick it up next week. Let me know your thoughts down below if this is something that you're picking up. You know, how excited are you for it? Do you also think it could set the world on fire? Or do you think it's just going to be a very average game, an average Pokemon spinoff game? I think this could be like the king of Pokemon spinoff games. Like, I think really and legitimately, no, not even being biased here as a Pokemon fan, because like, I don't really play Animal Crossing, for example. I just have recently gotten into life sims and stuff like that. This is not. I am not the target audience for this. Even though it was Pokemon, I wasn't going to pick it up, right? But there were a few things that sold me on it. I can see that. I think this is possibly a massive mega hit for Pokemon. So let me know your thoughts on Pocopia down below. On the 12th, we have Dark Switch. I'm going to say 80 on this one. This actually looks really cool. It's like a city building tower defense game where you're building everything in a tree. And that's so cool to me, because random fun fact, my favorite way to play Minecraft, the only way that I play Minecraft, is I don't build houses. I never build houses. I build extravagant, over-the-top tree houses. I love building tree houses in Minecraft. I love trees. I love nature. So doing like a city building game where it's all going upwards and building in a tree, as well as it being a tower defense, where it's like, I think it said like you're defending yourself from the fog or whatever. That's really sick, because I've got a deep-rooted history with tower defenses dating back to Warcraft 3, Frozen Throne, and Reign of Chaos in custom games modes online. So it's like, I love tower defense games. So this is probably going to be a pickup for me. I'm really excited. I'm hoping for like a good score at like 80. Let me know your thoughts. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake, also on the 12th. We're going to say 82 on this one. It's just a couple points lower than the original release. Sounds about right to me. On the 12th again, we have Greedfall, The Dying World. Now, the first game did not score super well, and honestly, like, it's been in early access for a while, and the feedback hasn't been super positive. But I'm going to hope it maybe gets kind of polished out a little bit before release. I'm going to say a 76. I think the original one scored like a 72. I tried the original one. I didn't get very far. I've always wanted to go back and play it again and get like the, you know, the current gen PS5, Xbox Series version of it, like the Gold Edition, I think is what it's called. I've wanted to get that. I've never got around to doing it, but I still want to play it at some point. I also have no idea if I can just jump into 2 or if I need to play 1 kind of thing. I don't know. I haven't looked into it that far, but hopefully it scores well. I have a feeling it's not, though. In fact, realistically, it might come in at like a 70, but I'm saying 76. The GOAT, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, is also coming out on the 12th. I'm going to say 77 on this one. He is the GOAT, but I don't know if he's necessarily the GOAT of video game development and video game overseeing and magical ties and everything like that. But in horror, he is the GOAT. He is the undisputed undisputed GOAT, at least in my opinion. I love John Carpenter, but I'm also very biased because I'm a massive Halloween fan. I want to, you know, that's just me. But Tux Commando, I mean, it looks like dumb fun. It looks fun. So I'm gonna say 77. On the 13th, we have Monster Hunter Stories 3: Twisted Reflection, aka like Fire Emblem Monster Hunter, because it's kind of what it looks like. But it's like, you know, it's a monster catching game. It's a monster catching game, but like graphically, like me and my wife both watched this. It's like, man, this looks like Fire Emblem, like Three Houses, but you know, enhanced. You know, in terms of graphically, art style is what I mean by Fire Emblem. You know, obviously this is a monster catching game in the realms of like, you know, like a Pokemon or a Power World or whatever, right? You know, Monster Hunter Stories have always kind of scored just so. Like they've always scored like high 70s. Like, you know, the bundle scored high 70s. Now, they've always just been like solid entries. But, you know, with the scoring and the reception, it's always left it in a place of like, are we going to get another one? Oh, we are going to get another one. Are we going to get another one? It's just like, okay, well, here we are with the third one. I think they're really bringing out like all the bells and the whistles for this one. I think there is a demo out. Yeah, there's a demo out. And I saw, you know, people talk about the demo and just the amount of time you could sink into the demo alone. And there was a lot of positive feedback about this, with this, you know, with this monster catching like RPG they've got going on. I think this could be the one to take Monster Hunter Stories from like good, solid, average entries to a very strong title and a very strong spinoff. I'm actually feeling like an 85 here, which would be a pretty big step up from the other scores. I don't know. This one's really sticking out to me, where it's like all the reception I've seen around it. You know, it's got my attention for sure. I haven't played the first two. My wife has, and she enjoyed them, but she's really excited for this one. This is one that I think could possibly like take it up a notch, and so I'm feeling 85 here. WWE 2K26 also on the 13th. Who cares? We only need one game mode, and that's My GM mode. That's the only mode you need to play. We don't need the rest of the game. As far as I'm concerned, the rest of the game can score a 5. As long as My GM mode scores a 99, that's all that matters, because My GM mode is the best game mode they've ever created. Really, though, I'm going to say 82. I mean, they've done well at these past few entries. I think it's going to be kind of the same ballpark. But I'm not joking about My GM mode. That was not a stick. I love My GM mode. That is the only reason I've bought the last 2 WWE games. Is I think I've played a total collective of 30 minutes of other game modes. But then, like, I think it was actually, was it 25? I think it might have been 24, actually. I dumped like 100 hours into My GM mode. I love My GM mode. It's just a dumb little mode where I can go turn my brain off and have a great time. On March 17th, we have MLB The Show 26. I'm going to say 82 on this one as well, just staying consistent, where it's going to come out, fans are going to buy it, and they're just going to have a great time, and there's not going to be any negativity, unlike, you know, Madden and other sports games. On the 19th, we have the big one of the month, and that is Crimson Desert. All right, so John and I have been talking about this a lot. We talked about last Gamesthetic, of just like, where could this game score? Because like the constant reception and feeling for this game coming out is, this is too good to be true. That's the consistent feeling, right? And that was John's feeling like back in January when we made our yearly predictions we made. This game could score as low as 83, but I'm not shitting you. It could score as high as like a 97. Like, if it's one of those things where it's like everything they've put into it, if it all runs smooth, right? It all feels smooth. Everything feels great to play. It has a strong narrative, whatever. You know, the world already looks good. The world looks cool. All the, you know, the 5 main regions we have to go through, all of that looks great. What's the narrative like? How much is there to do? And does all the systems work together? How does everything work and flow? If everything delivers, like, this could be one of the biggest hits of the year. I mean, this is like a Game of the Year nominee locked in if it lands, and I'm in the boat that it's going to land. I just pre-ordered this recently. I just finally reached the point of like, okay, yeah, I want to go ahead and pick this game up. It looks really sick. I'm gonna say a 92. I feel like it could be, again, like a 95, 96, 97. Like, I think this game could score astronomical. I think it could be it'd be a crazy score for the year, and a very strong like front runner of Game of the Year until GTA comes out, and then obviously everyone's just going to say GTA because it's also going to have recency biased, whole 9 yards, right? But I think Crimson Desert is the biggest game of this month. I think it's the biggest game of this quarter. I'm drawing a blank on what's all coming out in April that could compete with that statement, but at least from what I know of quarter one of the year, I think this is like the strongest title to come out so far, and that's even over Resident Evil Requiem, which is great, by the way. But I think Crimson Desert is the one that's going to be like the game of Q1 of 2026. So I'm saying 92, but it could that could skew very, very heavily. But that's what I'm locking in. On March 26th, we have Life is Strange Reunion, the game that I was kind of convinced that we weren't going to get. I'm glad we're getting it. I've talked about this on Gamesthetic that Double Exposure's ending really needed this sequel, or the ending was going to be complete cheeks. I'm excited to see the conclusion of the Double Exposure story, as well as Max and Chloe's. You know, this is obviously a long time coming here. I don't know if it's going to score super well. Double Exposure didn't score super well. It was really, there was a lot of back and forth, and I understand the criticism. I will say it's definitely one of the weaker. It's arguably, I guess, the weakest entry of the Life is Strange franchise, but it was still fun, right? It was still enjoyable. I'm gonna say 76 on this one. This is a day one pickup for me. I do enjoy these games. You know, I want to see the conclusion of this story, but I don't think it's gonna score super high. So I'm feeling 76 here. Also on the 26th, we have Mario Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 Edition and Meet Up at Bella Bella Park. I'm gonna say 85 here. That's kind of what it feels like. The most of these like Nintendo Switch 2 enhanced version scores, just somewhere in the 80s. The only exceptions was like what Breath and Tears with their Switch 2 editions. They still scored like 96 and 97 because it's two of the greatest games ever created. But yeah, no, I'm going to say 85 here. On March 27th, we have Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection. I'm probably going to say, I want to be generous and do a 70, but I don't know. I'm going to, let's do 67. We'll do 67. Because the thing is, like, these games did not, like, every original entry did not score well. Like, that's the thing. Like, I know, like, the other legacy collections that's come out, like the X and the Battle Network and the OG Mega Man, like, I know all those, like, those collections scored well. But that's also because the games that went with them also are fun games that scored well. And I'm not knocking these games aren't fun. I've never played them. I do want to play them. But the original releases, like every single one of them scores like anywhere from the 50s to like the 60s. So I don't have a lot of expectations. So I'm going to say 67. Let's do that. Oh, God. Someone's going to come in the comments with that stupid 6-7 shit, aren't they? 68. That's the new score. We're doing 68. I'm not doing that bullshit today. And to finish off the month on March 31st, we started the month with Legacy of Kain. We're going to end the month with Legacy of Kain. But this time it's a new game with Legacy of Kain Ascendance. I'm going to say 80 on this one. I don't really have a dog in this fight. I've never played the Legacy of Kain game. Should I play them? I have no idea. You tell me. But we're going to say 80. So that's all I've got for this month. Like I said, I had a massive list of stuff that I wanted to go through. You know, obviously some of these big ones as well as a bunch of small ones. I did want to trim up how long it'd take me to edit this because I have the live show tonight. I have to edit the live show into videos for the week. I have to do things around the house before I travel out of town. So I'm just busy. I'm sorry. Cut me slack one single month. We'll be back to full force in April where I'll have a list of everything, no matter how long it is. But it feels like the most like packed month we've had. This really kicks off the year. You know, every year, you know, January is always the weakest month. February may have one solid title. And then March is when everything takes off. So from here on, dude, it's full go on games. Like, we got a lot of great stuff coming out. I'm really excited for it. Are you excited for it? Give me your thoughts on my predictions here today. And hey, shout out next month when I do my April predictions. Will actually be 1 year of me doing the monthly Metacritic predictions. So shout out to that. Thank you for the people that watch these. I just did that just for shits and gigs because I like predicting things. I like doing tier lists and rankings, and that's just things that really interest me and things that I like to do. So I just did it on a whim. I was like, let's throw this out there. You know, a game that I'm super excited for is about to drop with Expedition 33. Why not throw it out there? Let's see what happens. So I really appreciate the support. This has become a mainstay here on the channel. And again, thank you guys for commenting, liking, sharing, you know, just watching it. You know, even if you don't like my predictions, thank you for watching it. I appreciate you as we approach 1 year of doing it. Make sure to also go check out Gamesthetic. We're live almost every single Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Next weekend, well, I guess when this video is posted, this upcoming weekend, whatever the date is, March 7th, will actually be episode 250. How about that? Lord have mercy. What a time it's been. We'll be talking about Pacopia. We might do something special for 250. I don't know. We're not good at communicating amongst ourselves. You know, we're still working that part out. We'll figure it out if we do. But anyway, have a good one, guys. Until next time, see ya.